This podcast is a production of Unfiltered Studios. If you would like to know more about joining Unfiltered Studios, please visit our website at unfpod.com for more information.
We got a problem. The strike team's officially on notice. Numbers don't lie. Crime rates are up. Arrests are down. This experiment's failed.
Go on, arrest me. Imagine the questions your captain will have about the money you stole from us.
What are these?
Transfer papers.
It wasn't working when there were 4 of you. Now you're a man short.
Speedy Gonzalez out there must have hightailed off.
And I need you guys to leave.
I'm a dead man if I tell you.
You're a dead man if you don't.
That makes you an accessory to murder. We need to find him now.
What's going on in here?
I'm on you. Yeah, it's not close to what we had before Lem burned the money. Hey man, I'll do it.
Do my best. Open the back door or spend the next 5 years playing blow-up doll to the hard-ons in Chino. It's your call.
And we're back here with an infamous video game spin-off. That's right. I'd heard the Shattered Shill, which covers everything related to FX's edgy, crooked cop and cops and robbers show, The Shield. I decided to talk about, they talked about it too, and I decided to do my own take on the infamous video game, which got a perfect, and I say that with irony, a 36 out of 100. Yeah, it was produced for PlayStation 2 and Microsoft Windows. Very action-packed. You get to kill almost 104, I think, as Vic Mackey, the crooked cop played to perfection by Michael Chiklis. He and the rest of the cast return. There's very glitchy AI. It's set after Season 3. You get to play with gangs, so there's a bit of Grand Theft Auto where you can have multiple different endings, and depending on how far you go depends on how close the cops get to arresting you. The animation's decent for 2005. I would never, it's kind of a junky so bad it's good game. I would never give this the rotten ratings it's getting, which is like a 2 to a 4 out of 10 star. But yeah, it, much like the 24 video game, it leaves much to be desired. It's just very glitchy. However, as a rainy day kind of game, as a Sunday night kind of deal, it's kind of fun for that. I recommend, even if you're not sure, just watch the fun walkthrough on YouTube. You'll get a kick out of it, especially how, for a mature audience show, it never used much strong language other than just, you know, racial slurs and genitalia name calls. But here there are a bunch of F-bombs used by all the gangbangers, and of course there's plenty of using Vic's signature wrestling moves, you know, pistol whipping, some fun shooting and aiming stuff, as well as taking people down and burning their faces on the stove. I know this, the reason this show has still always held up is just because it was one of the first to bring into question, as well as just being in on the joke, much like how Denny Crane was a shithead on, you know, lawyer on Boston Legal, much like any other show with imperfect people, you know, from St. Elsewhere to That 70s Show. They were in on the joke, and same deal. You wanted to see how many of these crooked cops who were stealing money from cartels and playing the feds for fools when they were going to get caught. It was kind of the next best thing since The Sopranos and a precursor to Breaking Bad. And I think that's why this is still held up, regardless of what side of the argument you are on Back the Blue or Black Lives Matter. Still big topics that gotta happen, but this show handled it very well before all that shit went down. There had always been awful stuff we'd heard about, but it was very philosophical. Now, of course, those looking for anything deep in this video game will look elsewhere. It's not that kind of game. However, I think it's better than its reputation. It is kind of a trashy, so good at bad it's good kind of deal, but it should have been so much more. They call this stealth. I don't find it very stealthy. Shane and Ronnie, the Vice Squad teammates, show up in this, and they're not very good at shooting at the gangbangers, which make you wonder why they're in here. But the various endings, I think, and the other foolery and pranks you can pull kind of make up for it. Compared to, if I'm gonna give any game, you know, like a bad grade, it better be like that ET arcade game or just one of those other just infamous video games where clearly no one had enough time to make a workable game. It was basically dead on arrival. This one has something going for it. It's got some imperfections along the way. So if you're a gamer and you like the TV show, you're going to like this. If you just want a fun, junky shoot 'em up from nostalgia days, this might also do the trick. Unfortunately, don't spend too much on it, obviously. It's the people at Aspirin Media, is that what they're really called? ASPYR? That sounds about it. Aspire? Wow. So they're based in Austin, Texas, and acquired by Embracer Group. Well, yeah, no, they didn't do their job, but I think, again, some of the interaction and the fun storyline and some of the other wacky moves you can do kind of make up for it, even though there is some very bland crime scene investigating and just stupid AI, but just have fun with it. It is, you can always have fun with it. It's entertaining, even though it's not good. Just suffice it to say, sometimes we need a guilty pleasure, and I'm just glad that there was some other spin-off material besides just the comic book for this amazing TV show that everyone should watch. So, without that being said, this wraps up the Minisode. Please like and subscribe to Jacked Up Review Show on social media, and let us know how we're doing.
We'll return after these messages.
If you like small-town mystery, crazy news, and wild history, then the Florida Men on Florida Man podcast is for you. Each week, Josh Mills and Wayne McCarty bring you the absolute best Florida has to offer. So if you're looking for a show that's safe for the family, but funny enough to help you escape everyday life, then listen to the Florida Men on Florida Man podcast. That's Florida Men, plural, on Florida Man podcast.
Hey, it's Brent Pope, the host of Breakfast with Brent Pope. You've seen me on some of your favorite TV shows saying things like, "Give it up, Jimmy. You got to sink this putt to win." On Breakfast with Brent Pope, I sit down with guests from the entertainment world, and we do it all over breakfast. Or should I say Brentfast? Every week on Brentfast, you get inside Hollywood info and tips, great breakfast recs and booty debates. Most of all, you get the most delightful 30 minutes of your week. So dig in. It's Brentfast time. Listen at Brentfast.com, Apple Podcasts, or wherever fine podcasts are found.
Follow us on the web on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The podcast is available on Podbean, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor, Apple, and anywhere else podcasts are available. Feel free to review our show and leave comments on any of those sites. Thanks a million for listening.
It's a jacked up